If a good filmmaker makes a movie, it's like they've burned the pirate ship into the sea. They've used every idea they have. They're completely washed up on the shore, empty of everything. I was gonna lead off asking you what led you to want to do the genre that you do with Everything Everywhere All at Once, but that means that I would know what the genre is of the movie that you did, Everywhere, Everything All at Once.
Well, as a genre wonk,
Yeah.
what would you, as an outsider, what would you call our movie?
It's a family drama inside the shell of a sci-fi movie, is how I would kind of encapsulate.
That sounds that's pretty accurate.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, what would your answer be?
Well, I want to steal an answer from the focus group.
Oh, okay.
I got to go to a focus testing that A24 did, and
That sounds really fun.
I was so nervous that that they would rip it apart, so I wanted to be in the room so I could be like, that kid's an idiot. And they were so nice. And one dude was like, I think it's like an everything bagel. And then like a bunch of people were like, it's so original. I'm like, have you ever seen an anime? Like, I think we just did a live action anime.
Or honestly, like a lot of the Korean films from the auteurs of the past 20 years, like they're constantly shifting tones in a way that like I hadn't seen before. I saw like Old Boy or you know, The Host.
Right.
And so this film, the intention was always like, it's a family drama that gets interrupted by sci-fi, that then gets co-opted by the internet, swirled in this blender. One of the things that really surprised me with the first Knives Out was how you were able to obviously take all the tropes of a murder mystery and just like, you flipped it like 3 or 4 times in that movie, which was so fun. Like, where does that start? Is that something you find, or is it like outside in, you're kind of looking like the mastermind puppet, the puppet's master?
Well, I mean, I think for me, it like the origin of it is actually like kind of going back to the source of why I wanted to do this in the first place, which is my love of Agatha Christie's books. And that's like, you don't have to go any further for inspiration than to go back to the source. You look at the characters in her books are cracking jokes about detective cliches all the time.
What you're saying is you just stole it all. You haven't come up with anything.
Rock and roll, us too.
Steal from the best.
Do you know the ending before you start writing? Because your stuff is such a weird engineered machine.
I have to, not just the ending, I need to, the first 80, maybe 90% of the process for me of the real work is just working in little notebooks outlining. So I have the whole thing roadmap out before I sit down and type a single word. Otherwise if I start typing too early, I'll just get lost in the woods. I'd assume, are you guys similar, or do you guys start typing like?
I think we're still figuring out how to write. So we feel
when you figure out,
we feel unqualified to be here. But like, we throw so much at the wall.
There was like a chalkboard drawing of like 20 different timelines, all stacked of every single universe. I do think that like for us, the structure is where the thesis of the film emerges. For us, like if it was an essay, we're like, our film is trying to say like, look, the first half is a chosen one, the Matrix style hero's journey, and the second half is just completely a refracting explosion of that story. It's you are no one, you know. It's like we are all no one, and yet maybe that there's still something worth holding on to there. And so from the very beginning, we knew we wanted our film to, as you said earlier, like eat itself, right? It kind of tears itself apart. Which was a really fun challenge to us because we didn't know how we were going to pull it off. I don't know how we're going to do that. We're not good enough filmmakers to do that yet, but maybe by the time...
Obviously you are.
No, but by the time we were finished with it, maybe we could figure it out.
It makes me so happy to hear you talking about structure as a element of creative and thematic, a creative and thematic element of it. And there are writers who fear structure, thinking that it robs the soul from some kind of inspired journey, or that it's a necessary evil, where it's something where it's just a cold, kind of hard math.
One of those screenwriting like rules that I love to actually follow is the fact that like the midway point is when the film reveals itself to you. And so like, you look at Psycho, I think of Psycho as a great example of using structure for thesis. The first half of the movie, you're following someone, the second half of the movie, they're dead. And so you're like, oh, not even you are safe. If you are the protagonist of your own story, not even you are safe.
When you get in the edit, how much does the writing process continue in the edit with a movie like yours? Like, is it everything broken again and then put back together in different ways, or do you very much stick to what you thought it was going to be?
We kind of like, we stuck to it, and then we just started diagnosing problems galore and spent a year trying to fix those problems and stress testing what we'd done. And there were like, I feel like that was one of the most humbling things about feature filmmaking that we learned, was just how much of a unpredictable ripple effect there is.
It's an organic animal. It's like diagnosing a cow.
Right. And you're like, oh my God, there's something that we changed in the first 10 minutes that has now ruined the finale? How did that happen?
One question I want to ask is just like your process on set with your crew, with your cast. We worked with Jamie Lee Curtis after she worked with you on Knives Out, and she had nothing but amazing things to say, specifically about like the way that when they were shooting, or when they weren't shooting, no one actually went to their trailers because everyone just wanted to hang out. Like, what's your take on the director's role in that, on vibes? You know,
I mean, I think the vibes, like tone, like you guys talked about tone with writing. I feel like tone is also a huge part of directing, and it's setting the tone on set. It's making it feel like a comforting, warm, inviting, safe environment. And also communicating, making sure everyone's oriented and knows what we're doing and why, and do all your prep work before so you show up with a plan and so you can be chill, and then those vibes kind of filter out into the set, and then hopefully everybody's cool. But yeah, it's that, and then being an audience for your actors, I think, is the other huge, just huge element. I used to, I grew up kind of making shorts with my friends. It was all about cool shots and all about like film school, all about, I'm going to do this Coen Brothers-like shot, I'm going to do this and that. And more and more and more and more, just realizing I could stick the camera on a tripod, light it with one light, and shoot it in front of a brick wall. And if what the actors are doing is working, the audience is going to be completely there with it. The only thing that matters is making sure the actors have what they need to make those scenes sing, Yeah.
I'm excited to get to that phase of my career. As a writer-director, are there things that you're still chasing after now? Because I feel like, you've been doing this for a while. Like, I don't want to fanboy out too much, but I think I watched Brick when I was in college, and it was actually probably one of the biggest things that made me think I could be a filmmaker. With your first film, you figured out tone immediately, and I think tone is like 90% of the director's job. And so what are you chasing now as a director? Because, I'm so curious.
I mean, just getting better at the same stuff, but the thing is, that is not, I don't know, but that's not actually true. I mean, I guess I can't imagine mustering the energy to do a new movie without feeling like it was something that I had never done before and never seen done before, and my God, will this work? It's like going back to when you were a kid with your friends making movies, and it's just, if we tied the camera to a bungee cord and threw it off the freeway bridge, what will this look like when we play it back? It's that desire to just like, that kind of mischievous, like, can we get away with this? How about you guys? Because you've so far, with Swiss Army Man, and now with Everything Everywhere All at Once, you guys have gone completely, I don't know, it feels like, especially with this film, you've done everything it's possible to do in a movie. The thing is, though, but the thing is, regardless of that, like, that's maybe a stupid way of asking it, because the reality is, I feel like no matter what you do it, if a good filmmaker makes a movie, it's like they've burned the pirate ship into the sea. They've used every idea they have. They're completely washed up on the shore, empty of everything, hopefully. Otherwise, they probably wasted our time. So I know that's what you guys have done. What gets you started in terms of the next one? Where do you start?
It's such a good metaphor. Like, literally, you just give everything. You're like the giving tree.
We did put everything into this movie when we wrote it 3 years ago. And so we've actually got like too many ideas, new ideas. We've had a lot of time to like have live life and have new experiences and read new books. But
have new kids.
But then, like, part of it, you also want to chase that scary thing.
We're definitely overthinkers, and it's definitely a tool of ours, I think. I think we overthink, and that's part of our, because there's two of us, so we're processing constantly. I feel like a lot of time when you're starting off you want to create timeless art, but that's actually like a terrible trap to chase that, because the more you chase it, the less timeless it'll become. And really what you want to do is speak to the moment and give the people something to actually chew on and reflect upon.
I mean, I think one thing I will say, though, I mean, I think, you know, when we were talking before about what is the thing that gets you, that you're chasing, I guess, the reality is there's always going to be something new that we're dealing with, as long as we have the guts to actually use that as the fuel to make whatever's next. It's going to be something that's new to us. It's going to be something new that we're, you know, creating, I guess. Whatever you guys end up doing next, I know it's going to be mind-blowing and also come from your hearts. And having just gotten a chance to have a couple of conversations with you guys, I can tell that's where your work comes from, and I can tell you guys are deep waters. So I'm really excited to see what you guys do next.
Ryan,
thank you.
Cool.
Thank
we'll
you so
see you
much.
here in a couple years.
Yeah, we'll meet back here, right here. You just leave the camera set up, and we'll
new
be
and
back.
weird.